It is October the 24th, 2024, and things have escalated significantly in the war in the Middle East. As take a look, what you're witnessing right now is video footage of what they're saying is a hit from a terrorist group on an Iranian nuclear power plant in Karaj. Now I'm going to be sharing with you the information coming out on this, and again, we already have a response here from the Israeli war room trying to get clarification as to what is going on, but they're saying that this is currently on fire. I have information coming out from various different news media sources on this, and again, they're saying that this is a terror hit on the nuclear facility. And take a look, we're hearing that things are escalating on this, as this just came out in the last 24 hours as well, which might be escalating things too. This is a mural that was lifted up in Tehran, and it reads in Hebrew, "No hostages will be released." This coming out from Iran, this article coming out yesterday. I'm going to give you more details, and in addition to that, we're hearing the plans for retaliation have changed. We had heard that there was not going to be a hit on nuclear or on oil refineries, and it was primarily going to be focused on military bases. Take a look at this, you guys. Israel delays the Iran retaliation after U.S. intelligence leak. Israel has said to have delayed the Iranian attack after the Pentagon leak. We're hearing things are changing. The time frames and the potential for what could unfold here is changing, and we are seeing this essentially.
All right, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando. And this is a developing yet major escalation concerning World War III news. You know, now typically when a story is developing, then you know there's always going to be new information coming out as we speak. All right. So as I'm doing this video now, dealing with this situation, you know, there's probably more than likely new information coming out, you know, as I speak, you know, but nevertheless, this is a major escalation as far as World War III, because we're pretty much already in the third world's woe that is prophesied in the scriptures. It's just not fully kinetic yet. It's just not fully to a point where the missiles are flying. Because of course, pursuing Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So you see, of course, you know, especially as in recent years, with all the wars and rumors of wars talk, but this year alone has been a very impactful year. A lot of major escalations, a lot of tension, rising tension, provocations, and so on and so forth. All right. Because the scriptures talk about rumors. You know, 1 year rumor, we hear about certain rumors, and then you know, 1 year goes and another year comes, right? And we hear about rumors, more rumors, but the scriptures say eventually violence will break out in their land. All right, so something will happen, something will take place to where, hey, we're going to see full-blown boots on the ground. You know, more and more we've been seeing, like it tells you in Jeremiah 49, the least of the flock, drawing them out, talking about America being dragged into this Third World War because of Israel. We've been seeing that. All right. Here it is. Allegedly you've got North Korean troops being sent over there. I believe it's to fight or at least to provide some type of an aid, or whatever the case may be, because you know the narrative is always, you know, different, you know, but nevertheless, North Korean troops being sent over there to Ukraine, which that's going to you know, just like when Russia first so-called invaded Ukraine, right? And ever since then, it's been making those Russian soldiers battle ready, getting them ready for real-time war. All right, and it's no different with the North Korean troops being sent over there to Ukraine. Is getting them battle ready. All right, because there's all type of another war front, another war front with North Korea, South Korea. If you're paying attention to what's going on, which if you don't know, because this is only going to spread America's military out even more thin than what it is now. Another war front that America's going to have to get involved. All right, because here it is, North Korea is backed by the big players such as Russia, China, and South Korea is backed by America. All right. So once North Korea, South Korea starts getting active, and it looks like, it's getting closer to that. All right, because North Korea is making moves, And like I said, the fact that North Korea sending troops over there to Ukraine is making them battle ready. All right, battle hardened. Giving them that experience. All right. The same with China and Taiwan. Me personally, just speaking as a man, I suspect China to actually go ahead and, make the move against Taiwan before these elections, because that's another thing. And I've said this before, and again, this is just my thoughts. All right. It will make sense for these nations to make their moves before these so-called elections, because if Trump somehow gets up in there, it's going to be different, and these other nations, they can't have Trump. It wouldn't be for the best interest of these other nations if Trump got back up in there, because here it is with Biden's administration being weak. All right. Trump he's pretty much with it. He's with the sauce. He's with the smoke, because Trump is encouraging those Israelis. Trump is encouraging those small hats to go ahead and, bomb those power plants. Meanwhile, Biden's administration is trying to tell those small hats, hey, chill out. Because again, to bring it back full circle, the fact that, and again, this is a developing story, so we just have to wait and see what comes out, how this plays out. Because with this, we're gonna experience higher oil prices, where we're going to feel the effects at the pumps, and just in our daily lives in general. We can it's safe to say that we can expect to see the price of everything start to go up even more. All right, which one thing is going to lead to another. All right, more inflation, which eventually this inflation is going to lead to hyperinflation. All right, it's all the cascading domino effect. But nevertheless, this is a major escalation, because that's what's been in the talks as of lately, in recent weeks, about those small hats bombing those or coming after those power plants. Because now it's being said, and again, I'm gonna read this again because we know what the scriptures say. But just goes to show you the importance of those power plants, because, again, that is a major escalation. And a lot of these people, such as Steve Ram with the clip, on screen, and many other people who don't know and understand prophecy, they would think that this is straight up going to lead to the nukes flying. All right, because again, this is a major escalation. But again, we know what the scriptures say, which I'm going to read it again. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So, before, again, we're already in a third world war. All right, this third world's war. It's just not fully kinetic. It's just not full-blown missiles flying. All right, because before it gets to that point, We're soon in Revelation 7. You know, the winds of destruction are being withheld because, hey, certain things have to come to pass. And the major thing that has to come to pass, the major thing we're on the lookout for is that MOTB, the Revelation 13, 16, and 17. That's what I said, be not troubled. All right? You know, which, hey, in any event, we're not troubled because we're ready to get up out of here. You know, when we hear these type of talks, I always say, this type of news is what I mean when I say, because usually bad news for the world is our good news. All right? Why is that? Because we're ready to go home. And we know what the end all be all will we know what it's going to entail. So we hear about such of these things, and hey, we're not worried. You know, we're encouraging it. Brothers, we have our spiritual popcorn. All right, and we're just sitting back and we're just waiting. Because at any moment, at any day, you know, but nevertheless, this is a major escalation. All right, just something to be on the lookout for. You just had, let me get this in second edges. Because with this whole so-called Middle East tension, escalation, is causing all those so-called Arab nations, the Ishmael and all of them to come together. Because I seen it to where Iran and Saudi Arabia is agreeing to do military drills, joint drills, right? And again, as we know, or as we should know, Saudi Arabia is America's biggest cash cow. All right. So that's another thing in itself. So, Second Esdras. Second Esdras 15. Second Esdras 15 and verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, and like I said, all this tension between the so-called Middle East, Israel, Iran, and all the proxy groups, right? It's like, let me cross the street. So all this tension, all right, it's drawing those Arab nations, so-called Arab nations, together. Like I mentioned, you know, Iran and Saudi Arabia, apparently they're starting to do joint drills, joint military drills. You see, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Because, listen, you know, every nation has their dogma. They have that certain stigma about them. You know, and especially when it comes to those so-called Middle Eastern nations, the so-called Arabians and Ishmael and all of them, Elam and all of them. All right, hey, I think it tells you when you read on in this chapter about he's going to revert back to his state of being a wild man. You know, because whenever you see a so-called Pakistani or Afghanistani or whatever, you know, you immediately you immediately think those thoughts. You know, like, hey man, you got hey, you know, it goes back to, you know, you go back to the event of 9/11. You know, he's a wild man. You know, kamikaze, right? And that whole ordeal. That's what you think about when you think about a so-called Middle Eastern. All right. So, like I said, they already have that stigma about him as it is. You know, but even more so when they really, you know, get their groove on, when they really do their thing, hey, people are gonna be like I said, fear and tremble. You know, it says verse 30, also the Carmanians raging in wrath. So you see, the so-called Iranians, all right, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Talking about America today, all right? You know, America in the scriptures has many code names. Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon. America is known as ancient Egypt. You know, Salakia, America is a spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. All right, Assyria, Nineveh, right? So this Assyria is talking about America, because that's one thing we are going to start to see. You know, now however it plays out, because you know it's nothing for Esau to attack his own people and blame another nation. You know, and again, to speak of the event, the 9/11 event, that was one of those events. You know, the elites have no problem attacking its own people, its own citizens. All right, to bring in unjust decrees, unjust laws, and so on and so forth. Right, but nevertheless, we are going to start to see more of these attacks on American soil. Because as I always say, like I said, America is one of America's code names is the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, and I always say, hey, America's about to get her virginity popped, because America has never lost war, seen war here on American soil, you know. But America's in for a rude awakening. These Americans are in for a rude awakening, because we're going to start seeing attacks here on American soil. Lord willing, sooner than soon. It says, and then shall the dragons have their upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. All right, so that's the point. All right, another point that I was making. All right, with Iran and Saudi Arabia agreeing to conduct joint military drills. All right, hey man, America's about to get blown to smithereens. But of course, again, as I read, certain things have to come to pass. The major thing we're on to watch for is that MOTB. But just to close out, like I said, this is developing this is a major escalation. We just have to continue to sit back and see how, what transpires out of this, what's going to happen. All right, like I said, we can't expect we can't expect more higher gas prices and just the price of everything to go up. But this is a major escalation, nevertheless. Just wanted to put this out there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call Haloyim Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully let.